Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Bob here. As you can see, we're back in Everquest. We're on Project 1999 server. I'll stick a, I always stick a link to the server stuff. So the server wiki sort of. Well, I'll try to sort of make sure I stick a link to the server wiki, so anyone who wants to sort of get started on the server can give it a go for some, pretty awesome EQ classic action. I personally think anyway. It's got its issues, but there you go. And we're back with a ranger. Things are going pretty well. I'm level 11, and been leveling pretty quickly actually. Thanks in part to the Nullfang quest, of course. I've mentioned it many times, but that's only because it's just probably certainly for for starting off. It must be the best quest in the game for experience. I know that the butcher block, what is it? The bone chip quest is pretty good, but I think that sort of tapers out pretty quickly. You get up to level 5 or 6 maybe, and the experience doesn't come as as well, I would say, and it really slows down. But this is, I'm level 11 at the moment, and I'm now dubious to the corrupt guards, so I've kind of got one more go. I think probably one more mass turn in before before things go tits up, and I'll probably have to sneak out the city when I do that, I would imagine. I'll get my arse handed to me otherwise by the guards. But it's going really well. I'm really enjoying the range. I've done some twinking, as you can see. If you give me a second, I should be casting snare here. Yeah, I've got a snare, so I've got my first lot of spells at level 9. Next lot of spells at level 15. But let's show off my sword. There we go. That's a silvery swift blade that I paid. I can't remember who I bought it from. I kind of want to try and remember who I bought these things from, so I can thank them. Because I've kind of been sitting in these comments for quite a while, or one of my characters have, and it is full of numpties, to be honest with you. But you do come across the occasional person who, is fair on prices and doesn't try and rip you off. And I paid about 300 plat for this, which is kind of what I was expecting. 300. I can't remember what it was. Along those kind of lines, and I was happy with that. And I have to say, the damage, the damage delay, etc. And what the hell? Not a good view to be chasing after something. Probably. I don't know why I don't snare it. I need to get back into that sort of whole ranger feeling of, the whole druid sort of feeling that I'm used to. But the silvery swift blade, the stats are. It's 24 delay, 16 damage. I max 28 damage at the moment because of damage caps, but that's pretty awesome. As you can see, the rate it swings at is just nuts. It's just you could pretty much got a second and a half maybe between each swing. It's amazing. The damage I'm putting out is awesome, and it's kind of allowed me to do some stuff that I probably wouldn't have been able to do without it. So that's going pretty well, and the whole range generally is going really, really well. I love the class. I love tracking. It's just awesome, and foraging as well. It's just so much fun just running around tracking something. You see something you can kill, and you just run over there. Foraging is brilliant as well. So sort of just foraging for your own food. I love that. That's just pretty. That's pretty awesome. So the whole feel of the character is, I'm really liking it. It seems to have helped just sort of choosing a character based on a theme that I love. I think I think the whole RP side of that sort of really helps things. And it's just super duper. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. I'm expecting hard times. The ranger gets a really terrible rap, rightly so, or not. Maybe I'm really not one to say. I'm not as familiar with the class. Well, I say not as familiar. I'm not familiar with it at all, essentially, and I don't normally play melee classes either. So it's quite new to me. The whole sort of gearing up for weapons and armor and that sort of thing. It's a pretty new thing, but I'm getting the hang of it, and I've got myself a decent sword, which I'm happy with, and that will see me through to level 9, well, level 20. I have to say, what I'm planning on doing. It sort of came as a massive surprise, really, but I've come into some money, as it were. I don't know if that's a phrase anywhere else in the world, but I've come into a bit of money. That's quite a common term in the UK, or in England anyway, certainly. And that's what's happened. I've come into some money, essentially, and I'm going to be tweaking this character a bit more as time goes by. Over the next sort of couple of videos, you'll probably see some other equipment appear on him. And I'm kind of quite happy to do that, I have to say. You know, I mean, when I first started recording Everquest videos, and pretty much in all MMOs I played, I've always been one that's never been massively keen on. I'm hunting will-o-wisps as well in between gnolls, because there is an XP bonus on at the moment. No one knows how much how much it is or how long it's on for. But I thought I would supplement just in case. What I'm wondering is if when you do quest hand-ins, you get the XP bonus as well. I've got no idea. So what I'm doing is supplementing, slaughtering the gnolls for their fangs with with killing the odd dark blue. So my experience kind of keeps moving while I'm running around hunting, and that seems to be going okay. I mean, the wisps do give me a bit of a hammering, I have to say, sometimes. I think what happened was when I was level 9, I did a fang quest turn in, which took me up to sort of pretty much level 11. And I think my skills are sort of just, well, quite a way into level 11 actually, and I think my skills are just starting to turn up, starting to catch up with my level. So even though they're dark blue, and I think they're probably very dark blue, which is why they're giving me a hard time, that's probably why they're giving me more of a harder time than I was expecting. I think probably because because it's just a level skill thing. I need maybe offense and defense and weapon skills to catch up. So yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm slaughtering wisps. I don't like it. They make a lovely, cute little noise, little buzzing, tuney noise. But they're good. You know, they're XP, and there's a chance that they'll drop a light stone, which I'll probably turn into the gypsy camp at some point. Is it North Karana? I have to say, these ones I haven't got too many greater light stones yet, but I'm sure they'll come. Yes, on to the twinking thing. As I said, I've come into some money, and I've got some more equipment that's going to be coming over for my ranger. One particular item in general, which I'm very excited about. I actually went out of my way to get it when I knew I could afford it. But I'll show you that probably in the next video or the one after. It's a weapon that I'll be using from sort of pretty much level 20 onwards, seems to be the recommendation. So it's going to be this sword. Level 1 to 19, level 1 to 20, then from 20 I'll be changing weapons, and I'll show you that weapon at some point. And I've got a few other bits and pieces to add to him as well. I haven't managed to pick up much armour yet. When I was out, my character over in these common lands, when he's been just sitting there essentially, he has, I've come across some people selling Tollans armour, and I was tempted to pick up the helm actually, because it's superior camouflage. So I won't get camouflage till level 15, so I thought that might be quite useful. But then I thought to myself, well actually, maybe after some more Gnoll Fang turn-ins, level 15 might not be that far away anyway, where I'll get sort of normal camouflage. So we'll have to see how we go on that front. But yes, I've got the bug for twinking. I can't say, I mean obviously it's not, you know, I'm nowhere near at fungi tunic level, you know, not even remotely. This weapon has cost me quite a few thousand plat. It's the most of, I mean, it goes to show you sort of, I guess, how I've played EverQuest in the past, is that, you know, a few thousand plat, well actually more than a few thousand, less than 10 I'd say, but yeah, I mean it's the most I've ever spent on an item, and that probably goes to show you how I've played EverQuest, you know, how I've played it in the past. You know, the fact that spending a few thousand plat on an item is a big thing for me, you know, and I was kind of really nervous about doing it. I thought, oh god, you know, it's a lot of money. But then I thought to myself, well, you know, I mean, what I can do is just you know, if anything ever goes wrong with a character and I get absolutely pissed off with it, I can just sell the item. It seems to hold its value, and yeah, just tweak something else. But what I don't have is much armour. So what I'm hoping to do before where's that Gnoll going? Okay, what I'm hoping to do before I bring my character over to pass some more stuff over to this character, I'm hoping to pick up a bit of armour. Hopefully something with some strength on, because I don't have much strength at the moment. Yeah, so maybe a breastplate or something. Someone was selling a tree weave actually, which was really nice, and I could afford it, and I thought I should have bought it at the time, but I kind of sit there and I let things go past. It's like the Tollan stuff. One guy had a couple of pieces that looked quite nice, and they were sort of 200 to 300 plat each, which was I thought was pretty good. But I let him go, and then you know, too late I kind of sent him a tell and they'd already sold them. So yeah, it's you kind of got to be quick in these comments, particularly for certain items. It's some of it is just people are on it sort of straight away, you know, and if you don't get a tell in as quickly as you can, then that's pretty much game over. Yeah, so I'll be. Oh, that was quick. I'm just I'm just carving through these knolls at the moment. There's one here. What I'm kind of doing is doing the rounds outside Blackburrow, and I'm keeping it pretty clean actually, pretty clear. Occasionally someone will sort of come along, and obviously they notice that I've, you know, I've got these camps pretty much sewn up. I kind of go from one to the other and clear them, and they kind of don't hang around. But so yeah, so that's my plan, and I'm sort of killing dark blues as well as they come along. There's a rabid grizzly there. I haven't taken on a rabid grizzly yet. It's blue, but I know that the rabid stuff can generally be pretty, I think, harder to kill than your general bears and things. So I'm not sure what to do about that. So yeah, so expect some more twinking to come quite soon. I'll show you my new weapon. That'll be pretty awesome. I've got something else to show you as well in this video, but I'll do that at the end. That'll be quite fun, and it's sort of part of the whole theme thing again. I think it will give certain people a bit of a, yeah, I know certain people have probably got a bit of a fetish for this particular character. So again, it kind of fits in with the whole. Well, I quite like the character as well, so it kind of fits in with the whole theme thing. So yeah, I'll show you that at the end of this video. But yeah, just to finish on the ranger stuff, really enjoying it. I've turned to the dark side. I'm doing some twinking just to help me along, because I know it's going to be a tough ride, but I'm actually really enjoying the class and the skills. I love the theme that I've got set in my head. I love the skills, you know, tracking particularly, foraging. It's just awesome. I love the whole thing with that. So yeah, really enjoying it, and hopefully we're gonna carry on, and things are not going to be I'm not going to get the whole sort of thingy bug, hopefully too much, where I'm just move somewhere else and do a different character. I've got 30 Knoll fangs at the moment. I might probably get myself maybe 2 or 3 stacks before I head back to town. Just have one last hurrah for that, and then try and get out of town alive, which should be a laugh. That's kind of what I was hoping to get. That I was hoping to get the super superior camouflage helm for. I'm not sure if I can even use it at the level I'm at, but I thought it might be quite useful trying to get out of town. What we'll do, let's go have a look in Blackburrow. I'll sort of carry on talking about sort of class things for a bit, and I'll answer some comments that were made on the last video. The first one is about sort of the general fact of, you know, the point with me not sticking to any particular class, and that, I mean, that's obviously very true. You know, I cannot argue with that at all. That is kind of, I mean, I've spoken about it a lot. I've covered it a lot in other videos, so there's no real need to go into it too much. But I just have as I said in the last video, actually, I just have a problem with you know, with finding an avatar and sticking with it in an MMO. And you know, I'll be perfectly honest with you, this is stuff that problems I've also encountered playing a single player game. So it's not just MMOs. I just have this thing about my personality where, yeah, I kind of just struggle with that kind of thing, and that's just the way it is. I can't I can't help that. But it was a point, and it was a point well made. I understand perfectly what you're saying, and I'm hoping that the Ranger goes further, because I'm really enjoying it at the moment. What I'm finding is, as I said previously, is a whole theme thing. You know, it does help with I think how you feel about a character. If you feel some sort of connection with it, and you feel like you've obviously not got something in common with it, but there is some connection there. You know, it's not just about you haven't chosen the character for the wrong reasons. And from the Ranger point of view, I'm loving it. You know, it's a class and a sort of a theme that I really like. But I think also what helps is giving yourself goals, sort of long-term and short-term goals, and also creating maybe a bit of a role-playing flavour with the character. I mean, for this particular character, a lot of the animals are amiable, so I'm kind of trying to play it at the moment where I'm not killing animals. You know, trying to be a Holly Windstalker, I think her name is. You know, where I'm not killing things, essentially, not killing animals that are amiable to me. I'm not sure how realistic that will be. I mean, you know, maybe I'll find myself in a situation where it's the only thing available for me to kill. But particularly in the Karanas, you know, because I'll probably spend some time in the Karanas. but we'll see how we go. You know, I honestly don't know how that's going to work, but it's something, you know, something to have. It's just a bit of a role-playing thing that I think makes things more interesting. From a goal point of view, obviously my short-term goal is to get to level 15 or get my next lot of spells. Then I'm looking forward to getting to level 20, where I can effectively start using the new weapon that I've bought. Oh, just found a grub. I'm not sure. I need to check to see what food here is actually edible and what isn't, because I don't think it all is. Yeah, so it's about setting those goals, and it's about, as I said, it's about the whole animal thing, coming up with themes and a bit of RP that just makes the character more interesting for you. I've got this thing at the moment where what I want to do is collect all ranger only equipment. I sort of want to own all the equipment, so eventually get all the ranger only weapons, ranger only armor, that kind of thing. Up to obviously where I can, you know, my level, you know, because for planner stuff and that kind of thing, you know, it's probably not going to work. And I want to try and hunt for it and sort of quest for it also. Like I think the ivy stuff art, the ivy, is it the ivy fletched armor or something like that? I mean, I think that's questable, for example. So I'd really like to do that. That'll be something that I'll look forward to doing. If I can hunt for the weapons myself, I'm going to try and do that. That'll be cool. I've already got something in mind. I think in South Carolina, I think a couple of there's a couple of named centaurs that drop a bow. I don't know if it's the rain caller they drop or some other pretty good bow, but yeah, I'll be hunting that. I'll be tracking them and finding them and hunting them. So yeah, I think I'm kind of finding. Oh, for God's sake! There we go. I'm kind of finding for me that it seems to be quite important to just come up with a theme and a few role-playing ideas. And set some goals for your character, I think, essentially. So that's kind of what I tried to do, and I have to say I'm level 11, still enjoying it at the moment. Since I've started playing a ranger, I've really had no inkling to go and do anything else. So yeah, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm overburdened. I'm just going to get rid of this silver and stuff. I know it's I know it's wasteful, but just for the purposes of not having to run back to town at the moment, we'll do that. I think another one around here, isn't there? Yeah, Scrawny Knoll. And it's weird because it's a very different style of play for me. You know, I mean, I played Everquest for a number of years, but I never really sort of looked at or invested much at all in one of this sort of characters. You know, sort of a fighter, sort of a face-to-face sort of fighting-based character, and I think, and it's nice. It's a nice change. You know, I mean, I've got spells, but I don't have to worry too much about inductions, which I quite like. You know, it's a pretty good thing. It's toe-to-toe, which generally I'm sort of not really used to doing. The whole equipment thing's good as well, because I quite like equipment. I mean, I'm not a loot whore by any stretch of the imagination, and I mean, when I have grouped previously in MMOs, I'm the sort of person who won't loot anything because I'm not quite I'm not quite sure the etiquette of the whole thing. Yeah, and always find that sort of thing a bit tricky as to what to do. But I do like I do like equipment. You know, I like the fact that I've got a silvery swift blade. It just sounds pretty cool. And a lot of the ranger equipment has also got some pretty cool names. A bit like the Shadow Knight stuff, I think. You know, it's they've just got names that sound pretty cool. Yeah, so that's another thing as well. Like the whole equipment thing makes it a lot more interesting, because it wasn't because I played casters or a druid. It wasn't really something that I just concerned myself with much before. You know, it wasn't an important thing. So yeah, that's quite interesting as well. So that's kind of just to answer that point about not sticking with a class, and the fact that I've started a couple of projects and they've failed. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I hold my hands up there. No arguments there. I do still have my monk, and I do sort of plan on maybe faffing around with him at some point. The cleric idea sort of has fallen by the wayside. That won't be happening. But I'm hoping to bring many videos of my ranger, and yeah, and just and hopefully bring you different footage. You know, that's the goal as well. Is to try and do different things. Certainly between now and sort of level 25 or so, because I think I've kind of covered an awful lot of the zones for those kind of level ranges between all the different characters that I've started. So But I've got my fingers crossed that we're onto a winner here, and it certainly does feel pretty awesome. So that kind of answers that. I mean, it is a problem, and I'm hoping to sort of bring you some more consistent footage. Another comment was about the problems that the server's been having, and I have to say, you got the DOS attacks that are going on at the moment. A little while ago, there was also some sort of crawls of corruption from the GMs to do with, I think, sort of favouritism for the TMO guild. And someone sort of brought that up in the comments part, and I mean, I don't know really what to say about it, to be honest, because I don't know much about it. The short answer is that my gut feeling is that I'm getting something for nothing, essentially, and that is the overriding factor. You know, you don't have to pay anything. You can donate, and you should. My sort of way of, I guess, donating to the cause is doing the videos. You know, I've had quite a few people say to me, "Well, I started playing because of your videos," you know, and that's and that's awesome. You know, that's kind of what I was looking for. So that sort of contribution is, you know, is what I'm sort of looking towards. But I think cash contributions as well, if you can do both, then great. You know, but I think ultimately we're not paying for it, so it makes it harder to you know, it's harder to criticize. It's hard to criticize someone who's producing something because they love it, you know, and they're giving you an opportunity to sort of experience it again as well, and they're not asking you for anything really. You know, it's tricky. I find it just morally, I find it difficult to kind of really complain about that. That's not to say that sort of corruption is a good thing. I don't think that at all. I suppose if you come to the server and you're looking at investing time to get to the end game, and you invest that time, and then you essentially find that there's a problem at the top end where one guild is being allowed to sort of cheat or just control and do whatever it is they want. As I said, I mean, I don't know if any of this stuff is true. I've got no idea what's going on really, and I don't think anyone has. You know, that's the thing. We don't know what is going on. But I suppose if you invest time in a character and you get to the end game and you want to raid a bit and discover this problem, yeah, I mean, I can understand you might be a bit peed off, you know, because even though it's free, you've still invested your time, and I suppose you invested your time thinking that, or being led to believe that, yeah, that's what's going to be able to happen. You know, you come to the server and you've been led to believe that it's a classic experience, and you'll be able to go through the game and experience the stuff that you would on a normal classic server back in the day. So if you invest time and then you find these issues and you feel to yourself, well, I've invested all this time, you know, and it's kind of pretty much gone it's pretty much gone up the spout, you know, it's I've kind of wasted my time, then I can understand, you know, why you might be a bit pissed off. But again, it all comes back to this thing that it's two things really. It's one that is that I haven't seen any proof of corruption, and I haven't seen it myself, and it's not something that's affected me because I'm not sort of planning on, well, I'm not expecting to get to the end game to that extent. But also, again, it's as I said, it's free. You know, it's free content, and you know, I think you really do have to take into consideration. You know, these guys are doing it for nothing, and yeah, and as I said before, it's difficult. I'm sort of rambling and repeating myself now, but it's difficult to criticise something that's free. You know, it's I don't know. I was trying to think of some crappy analogy, but I suppose it's like living in a concrete jungle and someone creates a park for you to play football, and you go along and they don't charge you anything for it. You know, but the goals are not the right size, or the pitch isn't the right size, and you kind of moan about it. It's I suppose a better analogy would be that you get there and it's quite fun until you get a bit better at football, but then when you play with the big boys, you know, you realise that they're all most of them are a load of arseholes. And they won't let you play anymore. You know, they won't let you play. It's a really, really bad analogy, but I just wanted to come up with an analogy of some kind. So yeah, so that's that. So yeah, on the point of the whole issues that the server's currently going through, and the hard time that GMs and stuff are getting, you know, I err on the side of I haven't seen any proof of it, so, you know, innocent until proven guilty. But also the fact that if it is going on, it's free, you know, so even then I think I just think that your scope for sort of complaining about it, yeah, is a small one. But I can understand if someone has invested a lot of time in a character, and that's what they find when they get to the top. But of course, I mean, the real problem here is some of the people in the guild. You know, that's the issue. Someone made probably a really valid point, and probably the most important point on the forums during one of these sort of flame threads that seem to sort of plague the forums, and mostly seem to involve the TMO guild or certain members of it, is that what no one seems to realise is that this is probably putting people off the server. You know, the GMs and stuff and the creator of the server do it for their love of the game. I can understand that, but obviously you want people playing it. You know, the donations kind of help to keep you going, etc., that kind of thing. But then you've got this small sort of group, and I'm sure it is a small group of people. You know, I'm sure that the majority of people at the top end of the game are probably nice people, competitive obviously, but that's what it takes to get to the top end. You know, so that's not a fault in particularly. But the problem is there's a small percentage of them that I'm not sure that if they realise what they're doing. You know, they're probably going to be putting people off. Of playing, and actually and you know, not putting them off, as well as putting them off completely from maybe even starting. Maybe they're driving them away, you know, and it is a minority on the forum. You know, I mean, these people are sort of apparently adults, I think, but some of the stuff they say on the forums and some of the arguments they get involved in, it's just absolute childish nonsense. You can't believe that this sort of stuff goes on amongst adults, really, you know, but obviously it does. But they've got to that was a very I thought it was a very good point, is that they've got to realise that they could be putting people off the server here. However sort of clever or funny they think they're being, or however witty they think they are, you know, however sort of smart they think their retorts may be, you know, I think ultimately you may get some people watching it who are playing and think, well, I've had enough of this. Or you may get people looking at it thinking, well, I'm thinking of starting, you know, I'm thinking about starting to play, but yeah, no, I'll give it a miss. It's not worth my time, essentially. Yeah, so that's the key thing, and I think that's the key thing that GMs need to think about as well. Is you know, is these people having a negative influence on the server and giving off a negative vibe and just putting people off. Hello guys, back. Sorry, just got disturbed there. Real life gets in the way sometimes. Yeah, so that's it. That's a thing that I sort of hope that the GMs consider seriously, is the effect it could have on the server long term, sort of population wise and whatnot. The other thing as well is you have to sort of question the leader of any of these guilds that are involved in this sort of thing. If I was a leader of a sort of a top guild on a server, I'd be saying to my members, look, just don't do it. You know, we've got our own private forums. Don't go on the Project 1999 server forums and act like a numpty. Just don't do it. You know, it's a guild rule. Don't go onto the P99 forums and cause trouble. And I don't understand why they don't do this. You know, I mean, maybe the guild leaders are, you know, maybe that's their personality. Maybe that's what they like. They like trouble. You know, they're the ones who sort of revel in this sort of thing. I really don't know, but that's what I would be saying as a guild leader of any of these guilds, is don't go on the server, the public servers, and cause trouble. You know, that's essentially what I'd be saying. But there you go. That's that's me. I'm just helping guard Cheslin here. So yeah, that was probably a bit of a mess of a ramble, that one. I'm not quite sure if I actually put my point across, but I suppose, as I said, you know, I'm just repeating myself now, but ultimately I'm quite happy to play on the server as it is at the moment, because it you know, essentially it's free and it's allowing me to experience something pretty accurately to what I want to do. You know, that's no excuse for anything that might be going on. You know, if I ever sort of discovered it was going on, maybe I'd think to myself, well, you know, maybe I feel differently. But as I said, there's no real proof of it, so I don't know. I think the problems are the people at the top end of the game. Maybe a sort of a few bannings and stuff might go some way to improve the reputation of that side of the server. I don't know, but it's a sort of thing where you just think, well, I suppose it's different on live, isn't it? You know, because there's so many people playing. and it's a business. But here, you know, you kind of think to yourself, well, the GMs, even though they're creating it, and you know, and they say that, well, if no one was playing it, we'd still create it because it's what we want to do. We want to experience it ourselves. You know, if you ban a couple of people, couple of high-profile people, what happens then? You know, does the rest of the guild say, oh well, we're going to stop playing? You know, do they cause trouble? It's a difficult one, you know, because I suppose that the GMs do want to keep the server populated to some extent. But when I look at the forums, I mean, there doesn't seem to be any moderation that goes on. You know, I do think I'm reading stuff and I think to myself, well, you really should be banned. And I'm not talking about stuff going on, posting up offensive stuff, racist stuff, you know, stuff that is just not acceptable. I'm talking about getting involved in a I suppose in a spat about the game essentially, and being a bit of a dick, and that's what quite a lot of high-profile players from a certain guild seem to do, you know. And I just think to myself, just ban these people, you know, because their contribution is zero and they're making us all look pretty bad. But there you go, you know. I don't really think that's going to happen. But anyway, that was a long ramble on that subject, and I'm not even sure if I've made my point there, but that is my point. So yeah, there you go. I'm just going to go and kill a wisp again, I think, just to push myself on towards level 12, get a bit closer. How many fangs have I got now? I've kind of got a bit of a 37 now, so I've almost got 2 stacks. So that's going to push me on, maybe. I'm not sure how much they'll get me. Maybe it'll push me on sort of level 13 or something, which would be quite nice. 2 more levels from new spells, and sort of 7 levels from level 20, which is pretty cool. Let's kill this wisp, or maybe get beaten a bit about it. I was thinking about a ranger. Actually, before I sort of end on the comments thing, obviously forget all that crap. You know, the most I would say important, concise, a true comment made on the last video was the fact that someone said I've got a dreamy voice. When, you know, all this server crap, character crap, that all gets pushed aside. that was a comment of the video, that one, and yeah, I thank you very much for that. But yeah, I've been thinking about the whole ranger thing recently, and I've been thinking about I suppose it sort of comes into the whole hybrid thing as well. And there's certain things that because of the way hybrids were designed, they don't get, and I think they should at an earlier level. If you look at the ranger and the whole thing with the class, of the tracking and the foraging, I'm going to win this fight, hopefully, by looks of things. And so the theme of the class and the names of some of the equipment that, you know, the equipment it's got and what the equipment's called. I think spells like Spirit of Wolf should have been available to a ranger much earlier on. It seems a bit thematically, just not because I want it. I do, you know, but I have picked myself up some Spirit of Wolf potions to sort of help that out until I get it myself. But it's just one of those skills where I just felt sort of thematically it fits with a class, certainly as much as it does a ranger or a shaman or a druid. And I understand that it, you know, that the spells kind of fall under the whole Willow Wisp, Greater Light Stone, yeah, woohoo! I understand that the skills and spells particularly on hybrids fall under the limitations of what they've created with regards to, you know, hybrids and the parent class that the spells come from. But I do just think that Spirit of Wolf, maybe, I'm sure the Shadow Knights and Paladins come up with similar spells that they think maybe they should have. But I just think Spirit of Wolf would have been a good one to have, because rangers get tracking, I guess, but we don't. I suppose tracking is kind of the equivalent of harm touch, isn't it? So that's fair enough. But I think Spirit of Wolf definitely should have fallen earlier in the rangers spell list. It just sort of fits the class well. It fits the whole theme of the class. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. Guard Cheslin is kill stealing me, bloody thing. What's that knoll on? Oh, I'll leave that. I don't think I can probably I don't think I can probably do 50% damage before before it dies. So we'll leave that. Maybe the knoll will kill the guard. Serves him right. That's what I say. Yeah, but a couple of other things as well. You know, with the whole bow situation with with rangers. I mean, I think the bow situation got better as the game went on, but you know, we're staying more classic, so we won't see that. But I just felt that so much more could be done with the bow as well. Some of the spells could have been removed, like snare. You know, maybe they could have become sort of bow skills, that kind of thing. That would have been pretty interesting. But yeah, it's funny how you kind of get into a class and you start thinking about what could have been, particularly when obviously you know the history and the timeline and sort of how it eventually went. Yeah, I just think to myself, well, maybe they could have done that. You know, that might have worked out better. Or that spell or skill is kind of very relevant to the class. They should have got it earlier, but yeah, there you go. That's the decisions they made, and we're here for classic, and yeah, that's what we're stuck with. So I think that's probably all I've got to say. I've covered comments. What I'll try and do in each video is cover any comments that come up. That seems like quite a good thing to do. Interact a bit with people watching the videos. I think that'd be pretty awesome. But yeah, so it's just going to be more Ranger stuff. I'm hoping one of the goals I've kind of set myself is to spend a bit of time in Blackburrow, because although I've created some videos around this area and you've already seen me doing this stuff once or twice. Yeah, essentially what I'm going to do is try to there's a bit of a snort there as I laughed. What was that all about? I'm not a snorter when I laugh, I just want to point that out. Yeah, so one of the sort of goals I set myself is to try and spend some time in Blackburrow, get down and dirty with the gnolls, get in as far as I can. Groups, you know, if there's groups going and then someone wants to group with me, that's fine. We'll have a go at that as well. That'd be pretty awesome. I'm almost level 12, so what I do, I'll carry on playing till I'm level 12. I'll try and find a wisp or something that I can ding on. I must remember to get some snaring going. Sorry, my camera work is terrible. Almost got 2 stacks of teeth. I'm not sure how long I'll keep going with the teeth thing. Level 12. Maybe the couple of stacks will get me near 13. Because what I want to do next is move on to, apparently killing bandits for their sashes is pretty good to do next. So I'm going to move on to that, and I can record that as well, because yeah, you haven't seen me in you haven't seen me killing yeah, bandits for sashes. That might be quite interesting. We'll have to see how we go. One thing I do want to comment on is you still come across the age-old thing where people are just completely paranoid about what they're doing and what you're doing. I was here last night hunting the gnolls, and it was quite a bit busier. Oh, thank you very much. I think I just got a bit of healing there from someone. Thank you. Yeah, I was playing last night, and obviously it was busy. I mean, there's only 200 and something odd people on the server at the moment. I'm playing UK time in the morning. And there was quite a lot of people around here killing gnolls, and everyone's a bit touchy and a bit edgy. You know, if there's, I mean, I was running towards a gnoll, and I was quite, you know, I was sort of pretty much almost up to it. You know, I had a sort of couple of 2 or 3 seconds to go before I reached it, and someone sort of came over the hill and saw me, and kind of just attacked it. You know, there's a, and I mean, I didn't even say anything at all. I just wander off. I'm just not bothered. You know, I'm not that way, not really that way inclined. But it's funny, it's like being back on live. People have still got that mentality. They've got that desperation. Oh, there's a gnoll, you know, I want that. And yeah, it's weird. It's weird that we've still got that. And I mean, I don't know, maybe they're younger players and experienced. I'm really not sure. But yeah, there was a certain edginess about it, about this. I think because of sort of videos and stuff, and I think because of the forums, people are aware that this is a pretty lucrative leveling situation, no matter what race you are. I mean, there was a dark elf here last night. Yeah, and they sort of really going for it, you know, and then everyone's sort of looking at what other people are doing. Are you going to take my kill, and all that sort of thing. It's yeah, it's very funny. I was sort of running around chuckling to myself, and I got mobs taken off of me, you know, a fair amount of the time. Yeah, I just sort of move on to the next one. I think that's the best way of doing it. It's easy to get caught up in the whole thing where you start screaming and shouting at people, and you know, and it's just really not worth it. It's like I kind of feel that I should leave here. You know, I sort of, just from an etiquette point of view, Actually, maybe he's logged out, I'm not sure, maybe he's zoned, but there was a guy there obviously killing the gnolls here, and I kind of come in and I think, well, actually, maybe I should go, because I don't really want to step on his toes. Although it's difficult to camp this place as such, you know, there's so many gnolls and so much room, I can't really, you couldn't really say that any of this area is a camp as such, but I still feel a bit bad about it. Let's move around a bit here to see what we can see. What I want to do is ding 12 while I'm recording. Let's head round here. Oh, I was going to show something to show you, didn't I? So let's do that now. Let's do that. I mean, I'm sure you'll think, well, whatever. But I think it's in here. So let's give this a go. Right. Okay. So we need a bit of a. I'm not sure the exact pronunciation. I hope this works. But this is for all your Drizzt. Is it Drizzt? Drizzt fans. Anyone with a bit of a fetish for a dark elf ranger. What face am I going to get? Whoa! There we go. Dark elf ranger. And I've got the face. So I don't know if you can change faces with illusions, but I got my face. This is the face that I always choose for a dark elf. So that's lucky. And he looks pretty cool, doesn't he? So I need to get a top though. I do need to get a. What I might do is log out shortly and go and log in my East Commons character and buy a good tunic of some sort. But there you go. Look at that. That's awesome. Dark Elf Ranger for all you Drizzt fans out there. And I'm going to be saving. I mean, it's something that I got, you know. And I've got quite a lot of charges on it, but I don't want to waste it. So it's something that I'll be using at some point in the how long does it last for? 30 minutes. Something I'm going to be using in the future. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to rocking around the Karanas as a Dark Elf Ranger. That's going to be pretty awesome. Just from a showy off factor, actually, people come up to you and go, "Oh, bloody hell, Dark Elf Ranger!" Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. Hopefully, we'll get level. Oh, don't be too far away. That's a dramatic shot. Look, that's a bit of a battle to the death on the bridge. Dark Elf v Gnoll. Oh shit. That's oh bloody hell. That's pooed it up, isn't it? Oh god. Oh, you're such a noob, Bob. Honestly. Right, let's deal with this dude. Oh, I've been stunned by the one. Oh, for God's sake. Yay, there we go. Level 12. Level 12 Ranger. Dark Elf Ranger at that. Awesome. I'm quite excited to show you my new weapon as well. I mean, I'm not going to use it till 20, and I'm sure anyone who knows the game at all well will probably know what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to showing you that. And I like the whole theme with that as well. That's going to be pretty cool. But anyway, guys, that's it. Level 12 Ranger, going well. I've got some turn-ins. I've got no idea what sort of experience the Gnoll Fangs are going to give me now. Maybe it'll get me up to 13. Maybe it'll go further. Maybe it won't be particularly good because of the level that I'm at. I don't know. We'll have to see. Is this guy gonna? I'm gonna aggro this guy. Come on. Let's put him down here a bit. I think. Yeah, but we're going well with a Ranger, and looking forward to. Oh, don't fall off the edge. Looking forward to many more levels with him. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope the video's been okay. It's been a bit of a mishmash of my sort of opinions on stuff, really, which I'm not always keen on giving, you know, because people get offended quite easily. But yeah, I hope sort of got my points across. If anyone wants to discuss any of them, then yeah, just put a comment on, and what I'll do at some point in the next video is cover the comments and that kind of thing, just as a bit of interaction. Anyway, guys, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.